Greetings and a very happy new year to you. I'm a little bit confused about things. There's a lot of people want things to go back to normal. So I'm just wondering which normal. I can remember there being a time, if you had a cold or the flu, that you were advised to stay at home. Then there was a time, sort of in working life, when industries were privatised, and you get penalised for taking time off if you'd got a really bad cold or flu. So you sort of didn't get paid unless you went to work if you went off sick, and then you got called in the office for daring to go off sick. So they'd rather you went in and spread the germs round. I can also remember a time that was called normal when I'm pretty sure it was public information films on the television and posters and things that said if you sneeze or cough to have a paper handkerchief and put over your nose and mouth and then dispose of it in a bin and then wash your hands with soap. But it's funny, I think this nanny state mentality that we now live in, surely if you've got cold and flu-like symptoms, you don't really feel like getting out of bed, so let alone going along to be tested to possibly confirm that you feel like shit. But it's it's very confusing. Then there's of course this thing about imagination creates reality, which a lot of people say, oh rubbish, it's a load of mumbo jumbo. Well, let me give you an example of this, and hands up, I'm as guilty of this as anybody else. Just look back through my videos, pointing out when things don't add up in history, shall we say. The timelines and things don't seem right. For example, if you've got a civil war going on in the United States, how come there's a railroad being built at the same time to connect the East and West? And how would you even communicate the message across? And of course, every Wild West film I've seen that shows people laying railway tracks, they don't seem to be protected by the American Union Army from these savages that are going to come along and scalp everybody. Anyway, this video really was inspired by Niven channel. Go and have a look at his latest video on a nice reminder of what the Duke of Edinburgh said. All about this overpopulation. So the irony of this, actually, before we go going back to the train of thought, showing this alternative reality, well, it looks like the reality has responded and we've got this alternative reality of new normal. It makes me laugh also how there's this fear of integration between humanity and AI. Well, just look at your cell phones, your mobile phones. How long does the battery last on a mobile phone? Surely it needs to be boosted and recharged every so often. I'll leave that thought there. I think you can join the dots on that one. Anyway, overpopulation. And yes, the irony of this is I'm going to say go and look at the Guardian YouTube channel. Now, the Guardian is a UK broadsheet newspaper. It's funny how mainstream media will say that everything on social media is fake, and yet they've all got channels and pages on things like Facebook themselves. CNN has got one and BBC have got one and so on. So the Guardian YouTube channel In 2012, there's an interview with one Stephen Johnson, who advocates reducing the population. This is in 2012, he said this, that the UK population is around 70 million. His words. So I thought, give him the benefit of the doubt that he's rounding up figures to the closest million. So I did a little bit of checking, and I checked with some facts. Now, when I say facts, I'm saying they're facts in that they are published on the internet. This is where this information has come from. So if I can read my writing in this light. Yes, so this comes from the Office of National Statistics, so it's the UK government. The question was, what is the UK population? And the mid-year estimate for 2020 is 67,081,000. So we give Stephen Johnson the benefit of the doubt of about 70,000 on that. So I then went and looked at Wiki, the fountain of all knowledge, the Wikipedia. Now, according to the 2011 census, the UK population was 63 million. The birth rate for 2020 is 10.2 per 1,000. This is the figures from Wiki that I'm giving you here. The death rate is 10.3 per 1,000 in 2020 on that same estimate. And that was last updated on the 31st of December 2021, so only 2 days ago. It also says that the 83.4% of the UK population live in urban areas. Now, if you go out on a motorway in the UK, there are vast areas that are just agricultural land, so it doesn't seem to be that overpopulated. But this Stephen Johnson, who advocates depopulation, same as the late Duke of Edinburgh, he was asked, bearing in mind, he said the UK population in 2012 was around or about 70 million. The interviewer asked him what he would consider to be a sustainable population for the UK, and his words were 15 million, no more than between 20 and 25 million. So, for the sake of rounded up figures, or we'll actually take it down the other way, we're saying 65 million. He wants no more than 15 million. So what is the plan for the other 50 million people in the UK? And I think you'll find every nation is saying the same narrative. So I would say from that, it's probable that there'll be somebody in that country that is saying the same thing about we're overpopulated, we're harming the earth from being overpopulated. Let's just check my notes again here. Yeah, so surely some of that reduction by 50 million from what we've been told in the media must be heading in that direction anyway. But it seems very static, so I'm a bit confused as to whether we have a growing population, whether we are overpopulated, or whether the figures are completely out and there's some other agenda going on here. I don't know, you tell me what you think about all this. But there's something else as well. If we can create an alternative, or from our thoughts we have created an alternate timeline, an alternate reality, and look what's happened. Some of you are going to say, oh, it's terrible, it's awful. Is it? I don't see it as awful at all. And I'm not being heartless when I say this. I don't agree with the method or the agent of delivery of what's going on. It's very misleading. But what this is showing is what everybody talks about, there being a revelation. Just look around you. I think you'll see that people are being revealed in their true colours as to the way they are reacting to any information that is presented to them. I mean, listen carefully to what I think it may well have been the UK Health Minister. I don't actually follow political soaps, so I don't know which character it is. But what was said was, those of you that have not been juiced will witness a lot of deaths. Seems like a fair comment. Because from what I can see, and the information that seems to be surfacing, is those that are no longer with us, or soon not to be with us any longer, all seem to have been ones that are juiced. I don't know, is there such a thing as a coincidence? You tell me. I'm just observing and sharing my observations on things. And, of course, using the words carefully. Because free speech is never a thing on social media, is it? It's there was always an ulterior motive with these things. You just got to look at how things can be collated so easy, how why data is so important, why you have now been given automatic response comments on Facebook of thank you for sharing. So it's all statistics of who's friends with whom and who's in contact with whom, because there is an all-seeing eye and there is an artificial all-seeing eye that isn't seeing all, without the use of cameras and monitoring devices. And there's also the other all-seeing eye that clearly can't really see what's going on, and that seems to be the larger number of, and I use the word loosely, humanity. Humanity to me is something very different. It's something natural and organic and has not been interfered with in any way. That's just my personal view. You don't have to share it. At the same time, I don't wish any harm upon anybody, far from it. But, as Alan Watts would say, it's karma. Karma means it's your doing, so it is all of your own doing. There is a cosmic law called free will that cannot be interfered with, because it would be forcing an idea, and it goes against cosmic law. They are the real laws. So, on a final note as well, I'll give you an example of the difference between what Rudolf Steiner calls the sensory world, or the sensible world, as opposed to the supersensible world, the higher self. The difference between what the external eye see and what the mind's eye sees. So you might tell me that you see a policeman, a politician, a scientist, a priest. What I say to you is, all I see is something that, for argument's sake, we call a Babylonian death cult figurehead, or a Roman centurion. Different scene on this world stage, different theatre. So different scene, different back scene, different set in a different age. So the costumes get updated with new characters playing those parts. The world really is a stage. So But going back again, just to reiterate, if through collective consciousness we can create an alternative or get a response from this unseen force that will respond like the subconscious of, if that's how you feel and then that's what you're going to get. We've got an alternate reality. So let's make 2022 a year that we take it the next step. Let's create not just an alternate reality. Let's create a new timeline with abundance and a natural organic earth, with a humanity that is not seeing nature as an obstacle to something to try and improve upon, something to dominate and destroy. Because clearly, whatever you believe about this reality, I think it's fair to say that it's not going the right way. And I would cite the decrease in the number of insects as just one example of that I can personally say, yes, I remember a time when car windscreens were splattered with wasps and flies and things in the summer. But it doesn't seem to happen anymore. I don't know, maybe it's just my memory playing tricks with me. I don't know, how far do you remember back? It seems there's a lot of people who don't remember anything before flattening the curve, and they seem to have forgotten that it was only supposed to take 2 weeks, and now 2 years later. Must be quite an awesome curve that's trying to be flattened, but yes, let's make 2022 that pivotal year where things are going to go the right way, in a positive way for humanity, not just for a few that are just basically greedy and very narcissistic, and at the end of the day are very frightened, and no doubt one of their minion level will probably be monitoring this video. Well, to whoever that is, or whoever you are, all I say to you is, I think you need to go and look at a Dracula film. Doesn't matter which one you look at. You can look at the earliest one with Nosferatu, bald and with the sort of fangs, silent film era, or you can look at one of the more recent ones. I mean, Dracula's been updated. You can now go out in daylight with light blue, with little blue round spectacles, and you don't turn to dust. But the point is, the servants of the Prince of Darkness are never saved when their usefulness is over. They are expendables. So you may want to consider your career choices and your life choices. So each to their own. I would just say weigh things up, balance things out. Are you doing things that are helping you but also helping humanity and Earth? Or are you doing things that is helping you at the expense of humanity and Earth? Bit of soul searching and a bit of conscience checking in, probably with some are going to be needed, but I ain't here to tell you what to do. I'm just here as an observer, as a real life journalist in a way you could say, giving you a balanced view, and you make your mind up. I'm not going to tell you what is or what isn't, because I've got facts off the internet, from Wikipedia and from a government website. But do I know it to be 100% true? No, I don't. So I'm just passing on the information, so don't shoot the messenger, eh? Anyway, let's make 2022 that pivotal year. Loved you all, and another video coming soon. And thank you, Niven, again for the inspiration for this one. I'll put the links in the description to Niven's channel and The Guardian, and you can have a look for yourselves. Thank you.